Okay, good morning, comrade subscribers. Let's continue. So I've got the board back in. Let's look at the video. So this appears to be the video signal here. You can see we've got this going into the modulator, so that'll be the video signal input, and then we've got the modulated output going to the antenna connector there. And you can see that that pin there is actually connected over to there. So that'll be video signal connected to there and then through to the modulator. So we do have 3 additional wires connected in addition to ground. So there could be RGB, but we don't have a separate sync. But I guess maybe the video signal can be used for the sync source perhaps. So I've got one there. So I guess I've got a few options. Oh, this is the only documentation I've been able to find so far, which kind of corresponds. So we've got the video signal as we expected there, then we've got earth there, and then we've got unlabeled. So it could be that we've got RGB there, and then using video for sync perhaps. So we can try composite. It'll probably should be CCAM, I guess. I guess I'll be using CCAM. Yeah. So I could just try and make a composite output, and well, because the thing is, I don't know if it works. You know, I could power it on, get no signal. So yeah, I don't even know if it works. So I think I'll just make up a composite cable, and yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, one very quick and dirty composite cable. So I will, we haven't checked the temperature today. So it's Sunday, a little bit cooler, a bit overcast, 24 degrees on the Wanson's Electricity House in Darwin. Phone number 3487. Anyway, I think I might power it on, see if we get any smoke, and then I'll put it together and see if we get an image. Yeah, it's a mess. But yeah, before we continue, I just watched Spaceman with Adam Sandler on Netflix, which I think is based on a Czech novel. So yeah, there's my little huntsman friend. So I've named him Hanush. I think it was Hanush in the movie. So yeah, he's fine as long as he stays in the garage. It's when he comes into the house that we have a problem. So as long as he stays in here, hunting spiders or whatever he does, then he's fine. So I thought that was pretty apt considering I'm working on a, well, Czechoslovak computer. So yeah, you stay there, Hanush, and we'll be fine. Okay, power supply, let's see. I've hooked up my new power supply. Let's turn her on. Okay, nothing's exploded. Check voltages, I guess. Oh, can I feel a bit of heat? Maybe feel a little bit of heat on the 8080. Okay, now what we're supposed to be checking. So pin 20 is supposed to be 5 volts. Pin 20 is supposed to be 5 volts. 4.6, 4.5. Seems a little low, doesn't it? Pin 11 is supposed to be minus 5 volts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Minus 1. That's not very good, is it? Minus 1 volts. Let's check It's supposed to be, it's this middle rail here. Got -1 on the input. Well, that's not very good. Alright, what about 12 volts? Let's have a look at 12 volts, which is the yellow rail. That's 12.5 volts, and it's pin 28. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 28. Yep, so we've got 12 volts there, but we're only getting -1 volt instead of -5. That is very disappointing. I might have to use the original power supply. Just double check that again. -1. And the 5 volt rail. Okay, it's 5 volts. It's basically 5 volts. Only -1. That's disappointing. Oh well, that's. I'm assuming it's not going to work, so I'm going to have to check that. But let's hook up the video and see if we get anything. Okay, moment of truth. Power on. Ooh, power it says, but nothing. Let's have a look at the computer. We've got lights on. I'll go have a read, because I don't know if there's something you've got to press when it first boots. But yeah, if the 8080 requires -5, we'll only give it -1. Yeah, alright, let's check a bit more. I've double checked the... It looks pretty cool, doesn't it? I think I did a good job replacing it, but anyway. I've double checked the output, and it's definitely outputting -5 volts, so something on here, probably what I've done, is causing the -5 volt rail to sag to -1. I wonder what I could have done. So definitely the 8080 is getting hot, so it's definitely doing something, but not doing what it should be, I guess, because it's not getting the right voltages. So I might take the tantalum off. Otherwise, well, I don't know. I guess I could disconnect the peripherals, the peripheral bus. I assume it should boot if I don't have that plugged in, so I could exclude that. Otherwise, yeah, there's a lot of possibilities of these, especially all these other tantalums here, just crossing over multiple tracks. Yeah, there's definitely no short. I couldn't see. It's powered off at the moment. Do continuity check. There's definitely no short between the rails. So 150 ohms impedance between plus and -5 volts, and 1,500 ohms between -5 volts and 12 volts. The initial beep is because I've got the limit set at 50 ohms. So I might take that tantalum off and try again. Right, so I have disconnected the peripheral board. Let's power on and check if the -5 volt rail is still sagging. That's the one in the middle. Ah, it's continuity. Yeah. There we go. -1.2 volts. Yeah. Alright. Not an easy fix then. Alright, I might remove the tantalum that I put on, I replaced. Let's see what that does. Interesting. So, yeah, I think it's probably something I've done. So this, just looking at it through the light, so the middle rail is -5 volts. So So that middle rail is -5 volt rail. So using the light to look through the board, so that's actually this rail here, and so there's only 11 ohms of impedance between ground and -5 volts, which will be why the -5 volt rail is sagging quite a bit. So I've messed up here somehow. Yeah, because that I'll keep. That's the 12 volt rail. That's the 12 volt rail. What have I done here? That's the 12 volt rail. And I've added another tantalum. So that's the tantalum for the 12 volt rail, and I've added a second one there across. So yeah, I've definitely messed that up. Let me just fix that up, and we'll try again. A close in look. See, some of these clearances are hair thin. Not the best design. Anyway, so I'm not sure. Let me try and find where the -5 volt rail is and see if there's any other capacitors. I don't think that one there's a problem. It looks fine, but I'll lift it up a bit. Yeah. So I'm not holding out much hope. Let's see if I can find it. Yes. I think I realised my mistake. I had the tantalum around the wrong way, didn't I? I just connected the positive to the voltage rail, whereas it should have been connected to ground, because the ground is more positive than -5 volts, isn't it? So I'll remove that tantalum, and I'll see what happens now. Oh, -5 volts is now -5 volts. It's not sagging anymore. Nothing on the screen, obviously, well, because I don't have basic connected, so I don't know if that's going to make a difference or not, or whether it's supposed to boot to monitor. I don't have the keyboard connected either, obviously, but there's still nothing on the screen. It's still the same output. So I'll put it back together, and yeah, let's see. Stumbled into a bit of a problem of my own making, of course. So that's what the screen looks like now. So I don't know if you can tell, but it's just slightly flashing. It's pretty much the same otherwise. So I was resetting the chips just to check that. I noticed this ROM here, has got one of the legs is a bit short, but I'm pretty sure, don't quote me, it's making contact. And with all the DRAM, it's actually MOSTEC 4116. One of the legs broke as I was putting it back in, unfortunately. I don't know if you can see, it's MOSTEC something or other. Anyway, so I was looking at my other board. So I've got I think it's a 2B. Let me just power this off. My original one, it's a 2B with a 64K board. So what they did with the 2B is, as you can see here, they've replaced the 48K. So it's, I guess that's what, 8K per row. 816, no, that's not right. 163248, so 16K. So 16 kilobit, I guess, these 4116. Replace those with a single row of 64 kilobit. And they've actually gone from Western chips to Soviet chips. Quite, I don't know if you've watched my other videos, but rather quite beautiful. So these are the typical Soviet 64 kilobit KR565. Well, actually no, not KR. It's KR if it's a plastic case. So these are actually ceramic, so they're just straight K565 RU5Gs. Gorgeous, aren't they? So, do I abandon my work on this until I can get a replacement 4116? Because I don't think I've got any. And then go back to this fella, because I've never tried actually powering this up. So I'd be using the PMD 10. I'd be using the original power supply. You can see actually the different ports. So we've got the DIN, and we've got a proper kind of antenna. Well, proper as in what I'm used to seeing. The only problem with this one is I think there was a broken pin on the ROM cartridge, but that's not a problem on the basic cartridge, because I've got another basic cartridge. I'm guessing, so like I said, there is the other issue with this original board is that one of these gorgeous ROMs has got a broken leg. So that was like it when I pulled it out. So I think it's long enough that it makes contact, but still, one on that side as well, by the looks of it. So multiple possible failures. So I might call it a day on this one. Dum, dum, there go the elephants a bit up. And maybe see if I can get my original 2B. So I think it's a 2B with a 64K board. See if I can get my 2B working with the PMD 10 and the basic cartridge. Yeah, I might do that. So yeah, unfortunately, 2B continued. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to finish off this video and then start work straight away on the 2D. See if we can get some progress on that one. Bye for now.